What's going on, guys? It's Henry, and today I want to talk about a different subject, and I want to talk about different habits that are really helpful for succeeding in life, and specifically 5 different habits that helped me become a millionaire. And these habits have really changed my life a whole lot. They've increased my productivity, they've increased my happiness. So without further ado, I want to share my successful habits with you. So guys, success is really something that a lot of people kind of misunderstand, because a lot of people look at success and they just think that, you know, that person got lucky, or maybe that person, it just came to them naturally or easily. But what I want to let you guys know, that becoming wealthy and becoming successful is very similar to having a very good relationship. So a lot of people will take a look at a married couple or 2 people that are in love and have been in love for a very long time, and they're just going to look at these people and say, well, those people got lucky, they found each other. But in all reality, a lot of people, they have to go through a lot of work to get to the place that they want to get to, whether that's success or a relationship. You have no idea how many broken hearts are kind of in the process of finding true love, and getting married is really a big job in itself. I'm sure the married folks can speak for that. And the same thing goes for success. A lot of people see that someone is wealthy or they're successful, but there's just so much behind to actually getting to that point. Which brings me to point number 1, living below your means. So a lot of people, they think that to get wealthy, you have to make a lot of money. And that's only partly true. Actually, what's even more important is spending little money and living below your means. So a lot of people on YouTube will say this, such as Dave Ramsey. He's really popular for saying living below your means and really saving your money, because even if you earn $500,000 or $400,000 and you're a doctor, but if you're going out there and spending all of your money, you're spending it on really expensive rent, fancy cars, and living a lifestyle that just is going to be very flashy, which just impresses other people that don't really care about you to begin with. Having that type of attitude and being that kind of spender isn't going to benefit you or your long-term financial future, especially if you're trying to build to retirement or save a good chunk of your income. Living below your means is something that I've done since I was in college. I mean, when I was in college, I didn't have a whole lot of money. I actually didn't have money until I graduated and got my very first job. During college, I did have some money. I was working at Goldman Sachs and I was getting paid a decent salary. However, it was really difficult to save because I didn't have the saving abilities that I kind of have now. I was out there kind of having a little bit more fun, and you know, after taxes, I was spending money on school and books and rent and also other things. So it wasn't so easy to save money while you're in college. And I'm sure you guys know the saying that, you know, college students kind of live on ramen. But I think it's really important, even when you graduate and get your very first job, and when you start making decent income, you do want to save and live well below your means, and staying in a mindset where you're not spending that much money for the first few years and still living like a broke college kid, but making more money and saving it is a very smart idea. And that's the number 1 rule I have for becoming a millionaire. Number 2, you want to prioritize your health. So when you're young, I get it, a lot of people don't really have that many health issues. They're just healthy, they're happy, they can go out there and drink on the weekends. But actually, I've never been a drinker, and I've actually never gotten drunk. Maybe aside from 1 or 2 birthdays, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any drugs. And that is because I focus on my health. So I know long-term health is a really big factor. And you know, there's a saying in my culture, I'm Russian, I speak Russian, and there's a saying that basically health is wealth. So if you don't have health, guys, there is really no point of wealth. If you're in a hospital, then what is the point of all the money you have? Even if you're a billionaire, you need health to kind of enjoy the wealth that you have. So rule number 2 is you want to be healthy, and you want to have healthy habits such as exercising, sleeping enough, drinking enough water, and eating proper food. And guys, real quick, since we're talking about health, I did want to show you guys this standing desk that I was given to me. I really thought that this company was a very good fit for a sponsored video. So I usually don't do sponsors, but I really felt different about Flexispot. And I thought that this was amazing because as a person that cares about my health, I'm sitting here and working all day. I'm making YouTube videos for you guys and I'm coaching people. I didn't realize how much I'm actually sitting, and I was gaining a lot of weight. So what I really like about Flexispot is this desk is not only really nice, but there's a button right here that helps the desk go up so I can actually stand up while I'm working. Or even if I just want to kind of straighten my back out, this desk really helps it out. Basically, I thought this was a really good fit for a video like this. So if you guys want to check out Flexispot, I think they're a phenomenal company. They actually have such a good product, unlike some of the other sponsorships that reach out to me that I'm usually not interested in. I usually always say no. However, for Flexispot, I think this company could really help some people out. If you're sitting at home and your back hurts and you're kind of just gaining some weight because it's kind of quarantine time still, and you just want to get up and just burn a little bit more calories, guys. I know I don't usually talk about health on this channel, but I think this could really be nice. If you order a desk using my referral code below, I'm just an affiliate marketer, plus they gave me this desk for free. You get $15 off when you make an order over $150, and I was not paid by this company. However, I'm an affiliate marketer, so I get a slight commission if you do buy a desk. All right, back to the video. So number 2 is health, but number 3 is happiness, guys. So you wanna be happy in whatever you're doing, because if you're doing a job or you're doing something throughout the day that just doesn't make you happy, it's not going to be a long-term fit for you. So speaking for me, when I had different 9-to-5 jobs, there was a lot of aspects that I liked about the jobs, but there's also a lot of aspects that I didn't, like showing up to work very early in the morning or having a boss tell me what to do. So when it comes to happiness, you need to pick something that you are enjoying and you're happy about, because when you're happy, you're able to do that one thing more. Think about it. If you ever had a passion or you were out there having fun, the time went by really fast and you just noticed yourself having fun and doing whatever that is better. So for me, it might be like playing tennis. The time just goes by so much faster, or making YouTube videos. I really do enjoy it, and educating others is one of my passions. So for me, it's a much better fit that I became a content creator rather than working a 9-to-5 job. And I think this is one of the most important things to becoming a millionaire. It doesn't really matter what you do, as long as whatever you do, you're the best at it. So let's say you really enjoy cooking. Well, maybe you want to be a chef, or you want to own your own restaurant one day. Or even if you're artistically talented, like you can sing, then you can create your own online courses and try to teach other people how to sing. Whatever it is, there is always business opportunity in any single thing that you enjoy doing. And when you enjoy doing something, they do have a saying that money will come. I do think that is not always true. However, I do believe with the internet age, you can start almost anything online and create a business out of it. If it's online course selling, or maybe it's a physical store or a service that you provide for others, you can make money even if it's a hobby. And I think that's one of the most important things to becoming a millionaire. You really have to be passionate and dedicated to your craft. So even if you have to work, let's say 70 or 80 or 90 hours per week, you're not really upset by the long work hours. For me, as a YouTube content creator, and I sell digital courses on options trading, I've been really motivated to continue working up to 80 or 90 hours per week, because it just doesn't really feel like work. And at the end of the day, I just feel like I'm helping so many people. The 4th habit that I want to talk about is thinking long-term. A lot of people have a very short-term mentality. They want to have fun and they want to have pleasure short-term, which I think is okay, right? Some people want to eat some ice cream and some people want to have some pizza. That is totally fine. We need to enjoy life. However, it becomes a problem when you kind of go out there and you get a job that just has $5,000 more in salary, or maybe $8,000 more in salary, but it's a job that you just don't feel passionate about and you don't really enjoy it. And you took that job for the money rather than picking one of your dream jobs that might pay a little bit less, but that dream job would give you so much more satisfaction in life and really improve other areas of your life. So basically what I'm saying is, a lot of people have that short-term mindset that they want to go out there and make an extra dollar. However, I really do encourage people, and for myself, I always try to think long-term, and I had the same bad habit that I was making earlier. For example, when I was a freshman in college, I had a co-op program where I had many different jobs, and most of my jobs were in finance. However, for my very first official co-op, I took a job as a tax consultant because they were paying $22.50 per hour, or 23, I kind of forget at this point. And I took that over working for Susquehanna International Group, and that is an options trading firm. And that company was paying me like $13.65, really weird number, I know. But I decided to go for tax consulting, even though I knew in my heart I wanted to be an options trader. I already had options trading experience at a hedge fund in New York City that summer, and I knew that I wanted to continue options trading. But for me, just growing up poor, I had this bad mentality that I wanted short-term money, and instead of thinking about the long-term picture, I just took the tax consulting job, and I actually ended up getting fired from that job because I wasn't passionate about it. And during the time that I was working, all I was doing was looking at the stock market and trading my own money. So it didn't end up working out, and a decision that I made short term to make more money actually ended up hurting me long term. So one of the habits that I think everyone should have is just having that long term mindset. Even if you have to suffer a little bit short term, it is really worth it if you think about the long-term picture. All right, so habit number 5, this is the last habit I really want to talk about because I think it's very important. A lot of people are overlooking this aspect of their life. And this habit, or it's really more of a mindset, is having a mission. So I think a lot of people go through life without really understanding what they want to do. They just kind of go through the motion and they just do whatever society kind of tells them to do. But I think one of the most important things is whatever you've done as a kid or whatever you feel really passionate about, you need to derive a mission out of that. For example, some people really like playing with Legos when they were younger and they really like building things with their hands. However, when they grow up, they end up taking a job such as accounting or finance because they want to make a lot of money. But sitting inside an office crunching numbers isn't really a fit for their personality, because these types of people really want to work with their hands, and becoming something like an engineer and really building things and creating would have been a better fit for them. And that would be a much better mission for those type of people than just chasing the short-term money, which is kind of going back to the previous point I mentioned. And I'm not gonna lie, some people like myself, I grew up really poor. I had this shallow mentality before that I really want a Lamborghini and I really want to have this nice big fancy house. And you know, the problem with that, or for example, becoming a millionaire, the problem with that is once you hit those goals, what's next? I mean, I can afford multiple Lamborghinis now, I could afford a nice house, and I become a millionaire, but that doesn't mean that my life is all set, right? It doesn't mean that, hey, I've accomplished everything I wanted, because I don't really derive my value from those materialistic things. Instead, I want to help as many people as possible, which is part of my mission. So for me, having that long-term mindset is very healthy. It's a good habit to have because it's going to lead to longer-term success. Whereas if my metric was, hey, become a millionaire, well, I've done that. So what would be next? I would become pretty upset. And we've seen this a lot of times with different athletes, such as Michael Phelps and other athletes that are the best in the world. And if that's their only goal in life, then they become kind of depressed afterwards because they don't really have anything else to strive for. So one of the things that I think will really help people in terms of building a healthy habit is having a long-term vision and a mission. So one habit that I have is every single day I write down what I want to do for the world and what I want to do in terms of helping other people and sharing my experiences and educating others. For me, pursuing a greater mission means educating others, because I grew up so poor and it was so difficult kind of growing up with not much, having a small house. My father didn't want to turn on the heater. The AC kind of didn't even work and we couldn't fix it. I never got the ability to eat out or really travel anywhere. I really felt deprived kind of growing up. And now that I do have some money and obviously I can afford anything I want, although I do decide to still live minimalistically because I just don't believe in those material things making me happier. I derive a lot of my happiness from my mission and helping other people, because at the end of the day, I think what we give to the world is what we get in return. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different than usual, but I hope you take advantage of these 5 different habits or mindsets and apply them to your life. And if you're interested in Flexispot, you can check out the link below for the standing desk. See you guys in the next video. Oh, and by the way, this standing desk is totally awesome because it can go all the way up to my pec level, and I'm about 5'10", 5'11", and I can do my work while I'm standing up instead of sitting down all day.